Hello folks, can you figure out what this is? Yep, it's a Quetzal. I'm Ranger 1 and welcome to Virtual Realms. We're playing a little single-player ARK, exploring a few things in this rather unusual virtual realm. And I know, people have said that it's virtually impossible to tame a Quetzal by yourself. They don't tend to come near land very often. Or solid ground. You kind of need to be picked up by another player in the talons of an Argentavis like this and open fire on it then, although I'm sure there are other methods as well. Suffice to say, it's not impossible to take one down in single player or by yourself solo on a multiplayer server. Not impossible, but it's not easy. I got lucky. I started harassing this guy. He was quite a distance off to my right, well out of crossbow range, and I started harassing him, bumping him, coming down on him from above, from various sides, trying to get in front of him, and I really didn't think I was having that much effect on his flight when suddenly he veered away from me, either on his own or as a result of my interference, and headed toward the volcano. I followed him, got ahead of him, and as I was dismounting and preparing to try and do something, he flew up this ravine, and just as I was taking aim, he veered away and embedded himself in the side of the rocky slope. And there you see him now. I've been protecting him while the tame is taking place. It's taken a while. This isn't a very high-level Quetzal, but I don't need a high-level Quetzal. Let me check on him real quick. He should be just about ready. And there we go. Excellent. This opens up the door to a lot of things, but now I have to think of a name. I have to make this good. How about Sikorsky? I'm going to name you that because you're going to be doing a lot of heavy aerial lifting, my friend. I have plans for you. So I need to keep you in good shape. Once you have a Quetzal, they can stay in midair gliding, if you will, and recover stamina, which means basically they can remain airborne indefinitely. And since you can put a platform on their back, that makes it much easier to fire at other Quetzals if you need more than one, although it would be a bit tedious by yourself. You'd have to dismount, get on the platform, fire. When he flies away from you, you'd have to jump back on and chase him down. And then repeat the process once you got ahead of him. Still, it's a whole lot more doable than taking the chance that by blind luck he's going to fly up a ravine and get stuck. I've heard a few people say they were kind of surprised that these guys aren't bigger, but when you get right next to them, and I mean right next to them, his head is as big as Ava's here. As big as an Argentavis. I think he's plenty big enough. I know they can carry weight and loads far disproportional to their actual size and capabilities, but hey, it's a game, and well, it opens up some neat gameplay opportunities. Now, it's gotten dark, and I know that on some monitors, depending on how your gamma is set, it may be difficult to see, so I'm not going to bore you with this, but I had already planned that if I got this guy, I was going to come into the volcano or another mountain peak and mine some metal. It's something I'm in short supply on, and I am finding myself more and more in need of a little bit here and there, and perhaps a little obsidian and crystal too while I'm up here. So I'm going to cut away for a moment while I do a hard night's mining, and I'll be right back. Okay, night is done. It doesn't take very long the way I have my single player game set up. I've got night duration dialed down pretty low. And he can't carry a whole lot as of yet, so we did a few organizational things first. He follows uncomfortably close, so you do have to make sure and plant him somewhere, otherwise he's glued to the back of your neck. He can only carry 765 pounds, I believe. So, but he's only level 9. He's just a baby. What do you expect? We'll train him up, and we will concentrate primarily on health and on weight. Basically, I'm not going to be worrying about the platform for a while. I'm just going to use him as a beast of burden. I'm not high enough level to make the platform yet, and that's the only reason why I haven't done so. But as his capacity to carry increasing amounts of weight goes up, my life gets easier and easier. I can make trips like this frequently and carry back a meaningful amount of metal and various other materials. All in one go. It's a huge time saver. It's a game changer. One that is making me rethink some of my plans for my encampment back at the Oasis. I was putting some serious thought into how I was going to set up my platforms for loading and unloading either Brontosaurus or a Paraceratherium. Paraceratherium, pardon me. But if I have this guy, I don't know how much I'm going to be using the platforms on a Brontosaurus or on the Paraceratherium. I may not need to use their weight carrying capacity or the platform with forges and that sort of thing on their backs. I may not need to use that at all. It would be tremendously simpler to just simply fly over here. And once I do get the platform, if I use him to get a second or third Quetzalcoatlus, then I can use them for the weight, and perhaps this guy for carrying around the equipment. Well, we'll just have to see. It'd be more efficient. And there are times when perhaps it wouldn't be as much fun, though. I'm going to go ahead and top him off, and we're going to get underway. And we're airborne. We're going to have to go a little bit slow. Avis is heavily burdened as well and is going to tire out a couple of times on the trip. Sikorsky, on the other hand, is just fine. And that's okay, because Sikorsky, we're heading home. I told you, even following Avis instead of me, he's really close. This is so much easier than going overland, and safer as well. Now, the only time I have to really watch my step is when I land to rest Avis. Now, Sikorsky, for his part, he's not going to land. He's good to go. Now, when you have a creature following you in-game, I don't think they really use stamina anyway, but the same is going to hold true when I'm flying Sikorsky and leading perhaps a few others. So that's going to be really nice. These little pit stops make me a little bit nervous. I've noticed while I was hunting him initially and on this journey that other flyers seem to pretty much ignore the Quetzes, which is a bit of a relief. I haven't tested his fighting capacity yet, and right after this video was initially captured, they received a bit of a nerf. They were a little too powerful. Well, I mean, they are a big, powerful creature, but combat's really not their thing. You know, one advantage of going with lower level dinos like I have been so far is that not all of my eggs are in one basket. I don't have to worry if one dies, he's easily and quickly replaced. That's a little heartless, I know, and it kind of bothers me a little bit, I have to admit. But it's the truth. Doing what I'm doing is the best way to go about things. But in this case, all of my eggs are in one basket. So I do have to be more than a little bit careful. If I lost Sikorsky right now, I have serious doubts that I'd be able to attain another one. We're almost home now when a heavy fog rolls in. Now, the Oasis can be a little bit difficult to spot from ground level or from the air unless you know exactly where it is. And I think it's just over this rise, but in the fog this is a little deceptive. I hope I'm dead on. It's going to make me really, really nervous if I have to go scouting around in the fog with this very important bird behind me, I can just, I think, make out the shape of the oasis itself down below. So we're going to dive down. Hopefully nothing with big jaws and claws is waiting for us as we get down here. Now there's the edge of the cliff. I think we're good. Good Lord, it gets foggy here. We'll dive down. Let's make sure we're in the right spot. I see shapes moving in the fog ahead of me. Hopefully they're my ships. Yeah, I see their names now, so we're good. This can get a little creepifying when you can't see very clearly. I'm going to sweep it around and head for the barn. That is, if I can find the barn. Get out of the way, Joy. You're in the way. Joy, my brontosaurus, was named by my youngest. She thought that was the ideal name because she was so delighted when we actually brought it down. She was sitting beside me at the time and got it safely back to our oasis. We'll let the fog clear and then I'll get Sikorsky settled into his new home. And of course the fog lifts and a rain begins just as we get home. I have to watch the camera. Sikorsky's neck and head is so long that it keeps blocking our view. Wow, that's a little unexpected. Hi, buddy. Okay. I just wanted to show you that. Let me get him unloaded here. Okay, I've put one of the turtles, Hubby, on short haul duty to help me get all this metal in. I've still got another load to go. And I have told Sikorsky to go land, although he hasn't done it yet. He seems to be perfectly happy hovering where he is right now. Grab the last little bit of metal here and throw it in the forge. I think we're going to end up with a little over 700 metal altogether, which will give me a nice... Hey! A nice supply of refined metal. Where are you going? I told you to land, not take off. Holy smokes. If he does this all the time when you tell him to land, this could be a problem. He's heading all the way across my compound. Don't keep going. Wait. Okay. He landed. I was just about to whistle to get him to follow again, but that would have gotten all of my animals charging over at me. That would have been kind of a mess. That worried me a little bit. All right, buddy. Let's get you squared away. I need to get that last bit of metal out of you, and then we'll let you wander around a bit and stretch your legs. Wonky bird. Okay, at last, everything from our expedition is squared away. So, this is the oasis, such as it is right now. I think it's a good home for Sikorsky. That boy can cover some ground when he's just strolling around the compound here. His reach is so long. His strides are, well, they're pretty ground covering. I've taken great pains so far to keep my buildings and, well, everything I've constructed well away from the lake. I want fish to continue to spawn in there as long as possible. Of course, the occasional piranha shows up, but I can live with that. Clancy and the turtles there use them for chew toys. I find Sikorsky's behavior interesting. Most of the animals don't go into the water very often, if at all, aside from Clancy and the turtles, but Sikorsky seems to like it. He heads there quite often and just strides across it like it's not even there. Oh, for those of you who may be wondering what happened to Argent, the male Argentavis that I tamed last video that I did, along with Avis here. Argent was the victim of an unfortunate skydiving accident. Well, he didn't die in the skydiving accident. I did. But he ended up getting killed before I could get back to him. You see, it turns out, as I was flying along at high altitude, I had a dimorphodon perched on my shoulder, and well, I decided that I wanted to free that arm up and launch him while airborne. So I hit E, which launches a dimorphodon. Unfortunately, hitting E while you're airborne dismounts you. And it was a very long fall, and I planned poorly and did not pack a parachute. So I tried to get back in time, but unfortunately, while I recovered the dimorphodon, Argent has passed on. So in hindsight, I guess it was really a good thing that I tamed two. Well, on that downer, I'm going to let you go. You folks have a great afternoon or evening or morning or whatever it is wherever you live. And thanks for watching the videos. I appreciate your support. If you liked the video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Until I see you again, good hunting. Thanks for watching. I hope you were entertained. If you liked the video, please remember to subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you. And I'll see you next time.